If your boyfriend does any of these things, you need a new boyfriend. I recently learned that none of these things were normal, and I accepted them in the past because I was like, oh, that's just who they are, that's just how they operate. No. And let me start by saying, there is someone out there, there's probably multiple people out there who are willing to give you everything that you want and everything that you need without you having to ask for it, without you having to teach them how to do it, without you having to beg for it, or without you having to break down and cry for them to see how much it's affecting you and then change and start doing those things. Just remember that. Number one, huge one, communication. Whether that be just texting you throughout the day or, effectively communicating something that is bothering you. I don't care what anyone says, it is not normal. It is not normal for your significant other to not speak to you all day. It's not normal, especially us, our generation, looks at their phone all the time. Is it in your hand 24/7? No. Are you looking at it when you have free time? Yes. Are you looking at it when you go or come from the bathroom? Yes. Are you looking at it during your lunch break? Yes. So if someone tells you, I'm so sorry, I've been so busy for 10 hours, that is a lie. They don't want to speak to you, so they aren't speaking to you. If you're trying to talk about something that is bothering you and they say they just don't know how to communicate, that is bullshit. That is emotionally lazy. If you think that you are a bad communicator, which I think is just not true, you need to learn how to communicate. You need to be an effective partner and learn how to effectively communicate with your significant other. Saying, I just don't know how, does not suffice. And if you think that it's going to make that conversation go away, you are very silly. 2, if he doesn't compliment you or tell you how he feels about you. I have been in relationships where I had to ask, do I look pretty? Do you think I'm cute? Do you like this picture? And it's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. If you have to ask someone to tell you that you look nice, that is crazy to me. If you are, 1, in a position where you don't know how your partner feels about you, that fucking sucks. But 2, have to ask how they feel about you, and that's the only time you hear about, what they like about you when you're asking for it. You need a new boyfriend. You need a new boyfriend. 3, if he doesn't do things just because. For instance, let's talk about flowers. If you say to your boyfriend, I really like flowers, I would love it if you got me flowers, and they never ever get you flowers, you need a new boyfriend. If they know your likes, what you like to eat, what kind of clothes you like, or whatever the case may be, and they don't ever get you something or send you something or say something to you because they know it'll make you smile, they know it'll make you happy, you need a new boyfriend. If they're not just doing things because they're like, this is gonna make this person have such a great day, you need a new boyfriend. 4, if he ignores you. This is such a fucking massive one to me, because that is such a big trigger to me. If, you're trying to talk to them and they just ignore you, it's kind of gone back to the first one. They just ignore you all day, even though they know there's a text message sitting in their inbox. Or you're trying to tell them something that is bothering you, something that is hurting you, and they decide to give you the silent treatment. They decide to stonewall you. They decide to just not answer and they think it's gonna go away. You need a new boyfriend. That is emotional manipulation. That is fuck. And ignoring someone when they are trying to voice something that hurts them, makes them feel unheard, not valued, not appreciated, not respected. It's human decency to respond to someone who is saying X, Y, and Z that you're doing is hurting me and I want to discuss it. 5, they make you feel bad about yourself. Whether they make you feel bad about being emotional or being upset about something, if they're calling you crazy, they're calling you sensitive, they're calling you over dramatic, you need a new boyfriend. And even if you don't feel comfortable to be yourself, if you don't feel like you could be silly, you could be goofy, if you feel like there's things that you can't say, or you feel like you are shrunken in that relationship because you don't know what they're gonna think of you, or you're worried of what they're gonna think of you, you need a new boyfriend. 6, if your boyfriend does not plan anything for you, he doesn't take you on dates, he doesn't say, hey, I really like this place, I would love to enjoy it with you, you need a new boyfriend. If they are constantly saying, you pick a place, what do you want to do this weekend, pick a place and we'll go, you need a new boyfriend. They are not thoughtful, they are not romantic. 6, if you have plans with them, and they decide to do something else. Whether they tell you they're gonna do something else or they don't tell you they're gonna do something else, and you're like, hey babe, are we still on for 7? And they're like, oh no, sorry, I'm actually here with these people, maybe later. If they bail on you, they flake on you, or something else is offered to them and they're like, this is more fun, and then they go and do it, you need a new boyfriend. Someone who doesn't respect your time, respect your plans, and makes you feel like there's always something better to do than to see you, you need a new boyfriend. I forgot what number we're on, but social media. If they are following a bunch of women, whether it's women, women that I feel like men are allowed to have female friends. That might be an unpopular opinion, but they are. If they're following OnlyFans girls, if they're following girls that are literally selling sex on their social media, whether it's, selling an OnlyFans account or just selling clothing where they're naked, where they're half naked, you need a new boyfriend. Any person who is following people who are soliciting sex while in a relationship is not a person that respects you or your feelings. You have a girlfriend. Why do you need to look at hundreds of naked women online? Why do you need to do that? And especially if they're liking those photos, it's like embarrassing. It's like, you're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me by doing this. You're making me look like a fucking asshole. And it's so funny because it's always these men that follow all these girls that would never give them the time of day, and then they have a girlfriend who have all these guys following them and that they would never give the time of day. That's where you guys are different. You need a new boyfriend if he does that. My last one, which kind of goes along with communication, is running away. When something is difficult, when something takes effort, when, they feel uneasy about something or they're uncertain about something for a day, 2 days, a week, a couple weeks, and then they just cut and run. Instead of trying to fix it, instead of trying to put effort in to figure out why this is the way that it is, they just run away instead. They don't try to fix problems, which goes along with being emotionally lazy, being an emotionally lazy partner. If you aren't dedicated to fixing the things that need to be fixed with the person that you love, or recognizing that maybe you could be doing things differently to make the situation different, and instead you're like, I'm just gonna go. Don't date that person. You need a new boyfriend. I truly hope that if you are dating people like this, you walk away, you find your worth again, and you find a person who is going to love you, who is going to put effort into your relationship, who is going to try to make you happy, and who is not going to give up on you when things get difficult. I promise you, there is someone out there that will give you every single little thing that your last one thought was too much work or was stupid or unnecessary without you ever having to ask. You don't even have to mention it. They just do it because they love you and they value you and they respect you.